Happy almost New Year's Eve, everybody. We're doing a homebrew review. So, excuse me. It is almost New Year's Eve. I think that would, today's Tuesday, so it's not Homebrew Wednesday. This is just homebrew review on a Tuesday night. So we're going to look at Mike Dean's Quad X. I don't know if it's a play on Triple X or not, but we're going to call it just Quad X. It's a Belgian quad. His label says this Belgian quad is dirty, spicy, and sweet. It's not as dark as I wanted, but I think it turned out well. The Dean's List 12% ABV. I did look at the label beforehand, but Mike and I share a love for high ABV beers, so I know it's going to treat me nicely. It poured out fairly dark, and I saw that, Mike, you actually had a little bit of sediment in the bottom of this. In fact, let's just put all the kids in the pool, which sediment in the bottom of the bottle for Mike is rare. I'm not a snob about it by any means, but just for Mike, it's rare. So the head was pretty minimal, although you can see I got a little foam collar. I'm not gonna spill the beer. There's a little foam collar on top. Good looking beer. There was a slight hiss on the bottle when I cracked it at the beginning. Not see-through at all. I've got a very bright LED, garage workshop light here. Lights, getting in around the edges, but I mean, this is murky's not the right word, but I'm going to use it anyway. Murky, muddy, but not in a negative way. Non-clear, turbid. Turbid's even a negative word, isn't it? It's not a clear beer, so, and that's fine. I don't know what Mike was really going for, but I don't really care. And what's clear, what's murky these days anyways? I mean, with all the haze, if you make a good tasting and smelling beer, that's all I care about. So let's get into it. Let's get a nose. Ooh. Dark fruit, raisin, obviously. Perhaps a little bit of plum in there. Plum and cherry, maybe. Dark cherry. Sorry, with the lav mic, I don't know if my sniffing is just obnoxious or not, but if it is, I'm not going to do anything about it. Trying to see if I get any like Belgian yeast estery characters, other than some of these fruit descriptors I'm rattling off. That's about where I'm at right now. Mike, have you ever made a Belgian quad? Is this a first? I'd love to know. Comment down below. Let me know. Cheers, guys. I'm going to dig into it. Wow. Wow. Okay. Fuller end of medium body. I mean, almost a full body on this. It's got a syrupy quality about it. Not in a negative way, like I'm drinking syrup. Whoa, what is that flavor? Hold on. This is familiar. I don't know if this is familiar in a food in my life where it's triggering that receptor in my brain, or if it's a drink of some sort that I've had before. At first, I was kind of thinking, whoa, this is familiar to, I'm going to butcher it because it is or maybe is not Italian. Disaronno or Disaronno or Disaronno, I don't know. Disaronno, the butchered pronunciation. I think it's an Italian liqueur. I haven't had that liqueur since 2008, 2009. So the memory, the flavor receptors, it could be off. That's where my mind goes initially, right off the top of my head from 12 years ago. So take that with a grain of salt. Definitely getting more of the I'm calling it cherry. It's almost like a cherry puree, and it has a syrupy quality like almost like cherry pie filling, but obviously it's much more liquid form. That is just me. So call me crazy, but this is my review of your beer. This is my whacked out mind. And this is where I'm going with it. It's very good. Very good. 12% is pretty hidden. I know it's there. If the style is typically a big beer and Mike didn't label it at all with an ABV, I would assume it's double digits. But in flavor, I'm not getting any of the heat. It's very well hidden. I think the sweetness and the fullness of this is kind of leaning me towards thinking like, oh boy, this could be a big dangerous dessert beer. I don't know if that's what you were going for, Mike, but that's what I'm getting here. And if I made the analogy complete, I went from Italian liqueur all the way back to your beer. So I'm a little rusty in the homebrew review department, guys. Sorry about that. I hope you bottled most of this keg, because you keep this on tap, boy, you're gonna be messed up. I know there were probably a couple of nights where Mike texted into one of our chat groups talking about how he was pretty messed up on whatever was new on tap. I think he had, that's what it was. I think he had his oak barrel aged barley wine and this on tap at the same time. And I know he has 3 taps at his house. I don't know what the third one was, but I'm pretty sure barley wine and Belgian quad were on tap at the same time. That's a dangerous combination. So I actually upstairs right now have my golden Belgian strong ale on tap. I bottled only 12 of them. And then pretty soon my barley wine, my 12 point something barley wine is going to be on tap. And oh boy, let me tell you, that's going to be dangerous too. So I'm right there with you, Mike. So thanks, Mike, for sending this. You sent me a couple other bottles. I think there's a porter in there. There's your barley wine that I mentioned. There's a mystery bottle. And I think, I can't remember if there's another one, but Mike, you sent me another care package this year. Mike has spoiled me in 2020, and I try to reciprocate. Right behind this camera, I've got a 6-pack building for you. New and old barley wine, Belgian, strong ale. And then I think I might pack you, I might steal a couple of ciders from Michelle's recent first try it hard cider. And then, oh, my Oktoberfest. We'll send that your way. So thank you for sending what you sent. This is fantastic. I love it, man. Save some bottles for yourself to age. I'm sure it's going to turn out great a year, 2, 3 from now. But thank you for sending me this one. Cheers. See you, everybody.